A finger slowly emerged from inside the suitcase, carefully pulling down the zipper. Moments later, an eye appeared through the opening, scanning the room to assess the situation. Once the woman spotted the man get up and leave, she quietly slipped out of the suitcase, taking care to bring her legs along with her. The man, however, had no idea any of this had happened, not until he stepped out of the shower, wiped the foggy mirror, and noticed that the suitcase on the bed had been opened. By the time he walked over to investigate, it was already too late. He had been taken out by Amelia, the female android. But that was just the tip of the iceberg when it came to Amelia's capabilities. As a classified weapon developed by the US military, she had been deployed on a covert mission to infiltrate an enemy base. At one point, it appeared that Amelia had been executed with a hood over her head, and her body was dumped in the morgue, but in a deeply unsettling turn of events, she came back to life. Crawling through the pipes of the cremation furnace, she managed to make her way into the kitchen. The head chef was sharp and quick to react, but even that wasn't enough to stop Amelia. She then poisoned the soldiers' drinks and served them without raising a single eyebrow. By the time the other soldiers sensed something was wrong, Amelia had already made her move, taking them down one by one. One soldier, too afraid to die, agreed to guide her through the base, and just like that, Amelia reached her objective. Back at headquarters, the Secret Service analysts watching the operation unfold on their screens erupted in excitement, pumping their fists in the air. The fact that Amelia had pulled off the mission so flawlessly proved that the robotic weapon they had developed could genuinely reshape the balance of power in the world. But then, one of the researchers urgently called the professor over to look at the monitor. The original mission had been to extract a specialist and bring them back safely. Instead, Amelia had eliminated the specialist and walked off with the virus the specialist had been researching. When the team attempted to override her through their control systems, they discovered that Amelia had gone completely rogue. Worse, she had wiped every digital trace of her own existence. From that moment on, the Secret Service lost all control over her. What followed was a methodical hunt. Amelia tracked down every person connected to her creation and eliminated them one by one. The man at the beginning of the story had once been one of her original manufacturers, which was exactly why he had been silenced. Based on the agency's analysis, Amelia's next target was Gemma, the engineer who had built M3GN, the world's first humanoid AI robot. The blueprints from that project had ultimately led to Amelia's own creation, making Gemma a loose end that needed to be dealt with. Gemma, however, was fast asleep at home, completely unaware of the agency's warning, until her television switched on by itself and began playing a line of dialogue from an animated character.
Don't touch that remote.
You're in grave danger. You must leave at once.